So you might have heard martial arts schools being described as leaky buckets. It's a pretty good analogy. You get people coming in at the top, they stay for a while, and they kind of leak out the bottom. Now, over the last year or so, I've been working with a number of different jiu-jitsu schools around the world, and there's a pretty specific way that we have to go about filling their leaky bucket, and it involves 3 different buckets. Okay, that's why I've called it the 3-bucket solution. In this video, I want to go over those different stages, why they have to be done in this specific order, and how they're going to impact your school. Plus, I'll talk a little bit about some of the ideas that you can use to fill each of these different buckets. In case you don't know who I am, my name is Tom Barlow. I run Escapology BJJ in Cambridge, and we have an online platform called Escapology Online, which helps instructors around the world grow their academies. So let's jump into the traditional image. Okay, that is bucket number 1, and that's where most schools kind of enter my world. It's when they have a relatively low number of members, they're getting a few leads coming in at the top, and then they're getting a lot of leads dripping out at the bottom. Now, if they stay in this situation, eventually their school will just fall apart for a number of different reasons. The first one is that everybody quits. Okay, it doesn't matter when you've been training 20 years, 10 years. From a business perspective, at some point, those students are going to quit. Maybe they become an instructor and you have to start paying them for classes rather than them paying you for classes. Maybe they get injured and they have to take 6 months off. Whatever, everybody at some point becomes or stops being a paying member of your school. And if you're not continually topping that up, you're never going to be able to grow. The other issue is that in this stage, a lot of instructors just feel overwhelmed and they feel like they are not growing, they're not able to lead the lives that they want to be able to lead or run the academies that they want to be able to. And that's a really frustrating stage to be in. I've been there myself on several occasions, and it is definitely fixable, but we have to go about it in a specific way. Which leads us to the first stage. So the first stage for any gym is fixing their leads. The simple reason is, if we can just flood our school with getting more people asking about classes, you're going to get more members. We haven't fixed like the number of people who are leaving. We haven't changed how many people are joining. We're just getting more people. For example, let's say that every single month you get, 10 inquiries in your school. Of those 10 people, 5 of them turn up to a class, and then let's say 3 of them join your school. Okay, that's a kind of a standard ratio. Okay, 50% come for a trial, and then 50% of those end up joining. Let's say we 10x the volume of leads. Okay, so we get 100 leads coming into our school that month. Even at those same statistics, you have now 50 trials and 30 of them becoming members. Sure, people are going to drop off at the same rate. National average is around about 5%, 6% for most martial arts academies, but you're just going to end up with more members, okay? And that is why it's the most important thing to fix. Plus, when you get people joining, you get injections of capital coming into your school. That frees up or gives you a little bit of breathing room to work on the other areas, okay? So that's stage number 1. And you'll notice that some of the leads still leave and you're still losing some people at the bottom, but your overall student volume will grow and it will start to stabilize you. The next area that we want to look at is where we start converting more of those members more of those trials into members. Why? Because it's very easy to fix that. Okay, it's a lot easier to fix your conversion rate than it is to fix your attrition. Your attrition can take a lot longer to improve. So we can change the way that we introduce someone into our academy. So again, using some very broad numbers, let's say that you 100 leads because you've increased your lead volume now. But now, rather than only 50% of those people coming for trials, we get 60. And then rather than just a 50% conversion of those trials into leads, we get let's make this relatively easy on myself, 75% conversion. Now, every month, we get 45 new members into our school, and our school grows that little bit quicker without impacting the attrition. And that can just be as simple as giving them a better experience when they come for a trial. So maybe you show them around a little bit better. You introduce some of your students. You know, give them a uniform, you create a course, something like an accelerator course that we use. You do something that improves their trial experience. And if you solve that problem, you end up with more leads. And again, we're increasing our, we end up increasing like front-end income. We get more members to join, and that gives us a little bit more breathing room. So we're now a little bit more comfortable where we can start to work on our longer term problems. Okay. The other reason is it's a lot simpler. As I said, it's a lot simpler to fix that conversion and a lot easier to track than it is the retention. Retention can be a long-term thing. Then the final stage, when people are really starting to thrive in their school, then we can start focusing on that. Once we have like a stable lead system, so we're getting a lot of people coming in, a lot of people inquiring about our classes, we're doing a great job of converting them, then we can start really focusing on our attrition. Okay, normally, because you're just kind of a little bit happier and a little bit more relaxed because your school's a bit more stable, that'll have an impact on your attrition as well. But that's what we want to do. We want to get to that point where we are really not losing that many members. And this is one of the key things. This is some area that a lot of people struggle with, but it's one of the most important things if you ever want to scale your gym. Again, if I use some really simple numbers to start with, let's say that your attrition is 5%, kind of around the national average, okay? Somewhere between 5 and 6% in the UK is a standard attrition. You have 100 members, that is, 5%, so 5 people leaving per month, okay? 5 of your members no longer train with you every single month, which means that your lead volume has to, or the people you're signing up has to at least match that to be stable. If you get 6 members signing up, you grow a little bit, 7, so on and so forth, again, which is why this is kind of important. The issue is if you get to like, let's say 1,000 members, again, this is like 10x scale, you're now having 50 members leaving every single month. That is a lot of ground to make up. But if you get your attrition round to, let's say 2%, that's only 20 members. 20 members is a lot easier to fill than 50. It doesn't require a massive increase in lead volume. So your academy can grow and be more stable by reducing that attrition. And that is the key to your real long-term growth. These two in the middle, increasing your lead volume, increasing your conversion, are like short-term kind of band-aids and fixes, but that attrition is going to be so key once you start to get more and more students involved. Okay, so that's the 3-bucket solution. We have to go through each of these stages. Okay, stage 1, we need to increase our lead volume, so we just get more people asking about our classes. It's the fastest way and one of the easiest ways to grow your school. Bucket number 2, we then have to get more of those people who are inquiring about our classes to join. Okay, that's just improving our conversion systems, being a little bit more mindful about what we're doing, how we're talking to people, the way that we're nurturing them. And then stage number 3 is improving that attrition. Okay, that attrition, once we've got that dialed in, everybody's having a great time in their classes, we have good solid systems that track everybody, we're monitoring attendance, we have a great environment, we're building our community, all of those kind of things, then that's going to really allow you to thrive and grow your school to exactly how you want it to be. Hopefully you found that useful, hopefully you found it somewhat informative. If you have any questions, let me know. And if you'd like my help solving these problems or growing your lead volume, improving your conversion, reducing your attrition, or just growing your school in general, hit me up at tom@Escapology BJJ and I will be happy to help. Talk soon.